help us put this thing.
Yeah, we talked about turning them around and putting them on some of the other fields, or putting them over at the sports complex on the new turf fields over there, or the Board of Education may have a need for them, so that's still up there on that.
Along with this, I shared with Kevin a few minutes ago, and I may have shared with some of you that I wish you would come in the next week or so and sit down with Justin and see the long-range plan that we have that we're going to be introducing to the council. We'll go ahead and make you aware of it before we bring it to you for adoption. But it's a long-range plan over the next 4 years as to every project that we're looking at doing. And it will give you a time schedule when those projects will come up. And it'll also give you a footprint of where the money is going to come from to do each project. We've never had a plan like this in place before, and I think it's a great plan. They've done a good job with this. But come in and look at it, let him go through it with you, and you'll see that for the next 4 years exactly what we're talking about, how we will do these projects. Any questions on this? Okay. Then item 3 will be permission to enter into contract with the county and Arrow Disposal Services for residential solid waste collection and disposable services. Justin.
All right, this agreement, if you recall, the county, we bid our trash services out with the county in conjunction with Elmore, and my mind just went blank. It was Elmore County, Elmore, and Hope the Diesel area. We put all the municipalities, all the cities, all the townships in the county together to seek bids, and Arrow Disposal Service was a low bid for that. So basically this is, in a nutshell, I guess, kind of a franchise agreement to allow them to basically agree with the bid and to allow them to service our city, minus the downtown area.
Any questions on this? What is the deadline on that? When do we need to have this?
The contract goes into effect June 1st or May 30th, I think it was. Timeline wise, I don't know if there is one. Just got to go through the motions to get it signed. So.
Okay, then item 4 this evening would be to award the lowest bid for the Black History Museum to L&L Roofing LLC. Mr. Greer.
Yes, we received 3 bids on the paint and maintenance work that was to be done, including roof and venting and soffit facial repair on the Black History Museum. And the low bid, I think you all have in your packet, and you've seen it. We requested you approve that bid to L&L Roofing so that we can get them to set a date to start.
Any questions on that? Okay. Then item 5, permission to get quotes for pickleball courts. This is for the courts in
Yes,
Meadowbrook.
that is Meadowbrook Courts, and it's the next item 6 is also part of that project, to get, the playground there is depleted and it needs removing, and, we will put a newer, smaller playground section in a different location. Do fencing and cross fencing for a dog park, and do the pickleball, court at the same time on the existing tennis court. we want permission to get quotes on the playground and the pickleball court repair at this time, surface repair. We're not ready on the fencing. We'll get these two items in process, and then we'll come back and get some quotes and get some requests on the fencing.
It's my understanding you're pretty good on pickleball. You have been,
I am, I understand today, I got insulted. I was talking to somebody and they said, even you could play pickleball. So, after Councilman Gant told me how he played it, I figured I can play it. It's kind of like ping pong, I think, for him.
you use a chair, right?
I don't know. I don't know much about it. Just if they say it's very popular anymore, then we need a place to play.
This is a playground that when Meadowbrook was built years ago, Cromley's donated the property, and it was required that there be a park put there. So over the years, it's had usage, and then it's kind of run down and dilapidated, and so they have a monument there honoring one of the Cromley brothers. I don't know which one it was, but so it's time for us to come in there and redo this, clean it up, and make it work. And we're going to be working with one of the restaurants that our fence comes behind it, and we're going to be talking with them about allowing some parking in the very back of their parking lot that you can enter from two different ways. Off of Gunner, I believe it is, and then off of out of this parking lot. So it will not be a lighted park, it will not be open after dark. So that shouldn't affect them in their parking.
And one note, we're gonna meet with, Councilman Gant, Councilman Brown tomorrow down there somewhere in the, I would say 10 to 12 area. If there's anyone else that wants to be called once we get the time, be glad to call you and tell you when we're gonna be there and you can look it over.
Did you say that includes equipment for a dog park too?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, what we're getting a proposal on now is not equipment for the dog park, just the playground and the pickleball court.
But there is room to do a dog park too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't know how many of you are familiar with it, but there was an old backstop and part of outfield fence and all that was there that we practiced on, people practiced on for a long time. That's been removed recently. And the dog park actually will take up the greater expanse of what's there now.
Any other questions?
Hi, I'm gonna be driving through the soccer field reserve at about 10:30 tomorrow, so 11.
Okay. I'll see if I can, I'll see if I can get that.
All right, and then item 7 would be fire department asking for permission to surplus 5 twin mattresses.
Y'all buy a 10-year-old mattress, we'd like to make it to the highest bidder.
To where?
The highest bidder. That's what's still in surplus?
Single side. I think that's exactly the process. Do you have somewhere these are going?
I would love to give them to, one of the charity groups because they're in significantly better shape than a lot of the beds we go get patients out of from time to time. I'd like to see it put to good use. But this is just the process to go, so we have to go through.
So that you're the secret source of where they may go to be used, whether you give them to the sheriff to use in the jail or wherever they can go.
I think this step's just to get them freed up so we can do that.
Good. Any questions on that? Then item 8, permission for the fire department to purchase 6 turnout coats and pants.
That'd be a state bid price, and it's just, it's a 10-year life on those products, so we are trying to buy before the price increase, and it's not classified as capital outlay, so. Again, I think the code is going to reclassify there, and we're on the right track.
You're talking about a 10-year life, was that to resist temperature, resist heat, or?
They just go out of date after 10 years. I'm not sure what scientific evidence there is, it's probably more of a manufacturer's lobbying effort that restricts us to that.
Any questions on that? Okay. All right, we'll call our meeting to order. Invocation be given by Councilperson Gantt, and the pledge be given by Councilperson Robbins.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity. We ask you to bring light to us of the holiday, the passing that we just had, and things that are done for us, and things that have been done for us just in this city. We thank you for our first responders, all our volunteers, and many people that do such a good job for us as a city. In Christ's name.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilmember Robbins.
Here.
Councilmember Tucker.
Here.
Councilmember Justice.
Here.
Councilmember Gantt.
Here.
Councilmember Brown.
Here.
Mayor Willis.
You received in your packet a copy of the minutes from the council meeting held on April 4th, 2022. Any corrections to those minutes? If not, we'll entertain a motion for approval.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so those have been approved. Under new business this evening, resolution 2022-4-18-1 is a resolution to exempt certain covered items from the municipal sales and use tax during the third full weekend of July. I will entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Okay, I have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So that resolution has been granted. Then item 2, approved design services for Hornberg Field with Roloff Thomas Design Studios to be shared with the county. I'll entertain a motion for that approval.
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So that approval has been granted. Item 3, permission to enter into contract with the county and Arrow Disposal Service for residential solid waste collection and disposal services. We'll entertain a motion to move forward.
So moved.
I'll have a second.
Second.
Boy, I got one over here. Boy, look at that. Tugger. Okay, have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
It's supposed to take effect June the 1st, so that they're really gonna be scampering to get cans out there, I'm sure.
They have plans for that. There's a mail out that went out this week, to all customers. They're storing the new cans out at Russell. They'll be placing those out throughout the county. Bills will go out in May and be due, towards the end of May. So they're working on that. They're looking for a place to for headquarters. They're looking here in Wetumpka. We're still taking that. They got their trucks purchased, so Arrow is working hard to get out in front of it. But I think they have a plan together to make it happen.
So I still understand that the rate is from June the 1st till May 31st, but the contract is through 25, is that correct?
Yes, it was a 3-year bid, that's right.
Any further discussion?
The prices will be set based off the CPI industry standards on inflation, or they'll go up and down every year, and they'll be reset June 1st of every year through the contract.
Any further questions? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That permission has been granted. Item 4, lowest bid, the Black History Museum to L&L Roofing LLC. We need to award this, so we'll entertain a motion.
Move to award this. L&L Roof.
Okay, I got Mr. Brown.
I'm not second.
Hmm?
Second.
You got to tell me. Who's the second?
Second.
She's the second. Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So that will be awarded. Item 5, permission to get quotes for pickleball courts. We'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on this? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so that permission has been granted. Permission to get playground equipment quotes from Meadowbrook Park. We'll entertain that motion.
I move the quotes for playground equipment.
Okay. And we will have a second.
Wrong.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion on this? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so that permission has been granted. And then permission to surplus 5 twin mattresses. Who wants to offer that motion? Come on, guys, who offers the motion?
Lennon. Sorry, Mrs. Justice.
It's Justice.
Second.
Take those things off. Any discussion on this?
Yeah, shouldn't you throw away mattresses because that's like,
These aren't your typical dyke mattresses. These are rubber dyke or.
That's
Rubber coat.
correct, plus when they keep them sealed, there's a liner we use at all times on them that disinfects and, but if I could put them in the dumpster without bothering y'all about it, I would already done it, but I've been told I've got to come get those things surplus so they can keep sitting in my shop.
Well, there'll be a record that says you surplus those mattresses.
Absolutely on video too.
Any further discussion on the mattresses? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that has been granted. And then item 8, permission for the fire department to purchase 6 turnout coats and pants. That's in your packet. First time on, so it'll be back on next time. Just a little information for you. This city seal that you see right here was painted many, many years ago, designed and painted by a fellow who lived here in Wetumpka. His name was Austin Martin. And I had the privilege of knowing Mr. Martin, and as Citizens Bank was first built down here in the intersection. They commissioned him to do a series of drawings, pen and ink. And he did those, and he did a lot of historic things around Wetumpka. And years later, when the bank sold, these conglomerates that had bought the bank that were not locally tied to us locally really didn't have a whole lot of interest in that artwork. So I've been chasing these things for about 10 years. And last week, a week before last, I walked into the bank and there was a local girl that had been, lady that had been there as a manager of the bank, and that was her last day. She was retiring. So I approached her and said, I want to ask you one more time, where are these drawings? And how can I purchase these drawings? And she thought for a minute and she said, if you'll pull around to the back of the building where the drive-through goes through, I'll meet you at the back door. And I'm going to give you this artwork. So we were able to acquire Mr. Martin's artwork, and it's beautiful stuff that he did. He did, when First Baptist Church built their new addition, which would have been in the 60s, mid-60s, they built the sanctuary. He was commissioned to paint, draw that, and he did. He has done the Methodist Church, the Presbyterian Church, the Calaboose, the county courthouse, just numerous things that he did. And now we have control of those. So I was contacted by the Kelly Museum. They want to do a show which would, where they could display his art and tell a little history of. I don't know, John, how much of it you can tell.
Not very much.
He was a character, but he was just one of the colorful people of many that have been through Wetumpka. And we're happy to have that artwork. All right, motion to it. Yes,
One
sir.
more thing, we have a public involvement meeting on Tuesday, April 26th at 9 o'clock at the Civic Center, to present a proposed ordinance for the downtown track stuff that the public works will be doing. So we've invited the people just inside that, district, downtown, to that meeting, but yeah, they're all invited to that as well.
Yeah, you need to come and be a part of that. I think we're going to discuss, throw some things out about parking too at the same time.
That's next Tuesday at 9 o'clock at the Civic Center.
Motion to adjourn? So moved. All right, we'll stand adjourned.